What's going on, everybody? I'm back. I know. Quick turnaround, right? I'm trying to get into a good habit, and so I have to get comfortable talking to myself and the camera. So, gotta get into a good routine so I can really get into a good habit of posting videos and getting content out there for everybody and getting my thoughts out there on different aspects. Now, today we're gonna talk about something fairly simple. So, if you're more of a I guess we'll say an advanced investor, probably you can skip over this video. But if you're someone that has questions over what investing is and how to get started, this is the video where it's for you, right? So, what is investing? Investing is simply the act of having your money make you more money. That's it. There are lots of different investment vehicles, people call them, as in there's different ways you can have your money grow and different types of accounts that have different types of risk profiles and tax advantages, and all those details is really for another video. But that is the simplest way I can put it. Your money growing and making you more money. Why should you invest? Well, think about it like this. When you grow older, hopefully you can make it to an older age, you might not want to work anymore. And I know there's lots of people that work out of necessity. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you didn't work out of necessity, but you wanted to work purely for the enjoyment and the passion in what you do? That's the goal, right? You want to be able to take care of all your in-house, expenses, be able to give back to the community, be able to help your family, friends. Investing is a key component of reaching that point in life. There are many passion projects someone might have, hobbies, entrepreneurship, businesses even, that someone may want to go into instead of having to work a typical 9 to 5. But they feel that 9 to 5 is a necessity. Having that W-2 and that paycheck is a necessity, right? And so investing is one of the ways to kind of get out of that pigeonhole of being stuck to that job you hate, for example. Now, I don't want to put it, kind of a doom and gloom over it, that if you don't start investing, you're never going to be happy and you're never going to reach, accomplish anything. That's not the case at all, right? It's purely from a very strategic standpoint, having more wealth, long-term wealth, and more money in your pocket in the future from when you do possibly want to have a change in scenery with your job, or maybe you want to retire and you just don't want to work anymore and you want to spend that time traveling the world or what have you. Investing is the way to go. Now, I touched on it there, retirement. That's kind of the big thing that's thrown around. It's kind of unfortunate when I actually go back and think about it. There wasn't that much talk of how to actually retire when I was going through the school system. I had quite a good amount of it in high school, and we talked about it in my graduate courses. We were talking about all the different types of accounts that one may have going through, your 401ks, IRAs, all those types of accounts that have tax advantages as well as shelter some of your income. But thinking back to my high school curriculum, we didn't really talk about retirement, and it's a big deal. It's sometimes disheartening to see people that are unable to retire or have to go back to work because they didn't have a big enough nest egg, is sometimes what you'll hear it called. Nest egg is simply another term of what people call the amount of money they have in their investments to the side for after their retirement, right? So no reason to get confused there. I'll try to use as little financial terminology as possible to keep things very easy to understand, to lay the foundation for the future, right? Now, how do you get started? I know this is probably the part of the video most of you want to hear. Now, let me be the first to tell you, before you get started, you got to get your money right. You got to understand how much money you have coming in, how much money you have coming out, and how much you have left over, right? Every dollar needs to be going to the proper place, and your money needs to be well accounted for. So if you don't have a budget, if you don't understand how much money you're getting on a regular, monthly basis, you probably don't need to start investing. Investing is very similar to building credit in my previous video. The more you track it, the better you will do. The more you understand it, the better you will do, right? And so you have to get right with your own money, as in make sure you have your savings set up. Make sure you're able to take care of all of your monthly rent, groceries, recurring bills, things of that nature. And if you are overspending, you need to get that in check, right? This is kind of the tougher part that many of you won't like to hear. If your money is not right, you probably don't need to be investing, right? If you have a bunch of outstanding credit card debt, you have a bunch of student loan debt, if you are kind of up and down with having a budget, maybe sometimes you save $1,000, sometimes you save $100, you probably don't need to start investing because you're not serious about your money, right? Just go ahead and cut through all that. If you're not serious about your money, you probably don't need to be investing. Now, when you are serious, you need to start doing your research. A lot of you work your traditional W-2 jobs and may have a 401k plan through your job. You need to understand what that is, right? Understand the different type of assets and asset classes that go into a 401k. Talking your mutual funds, index funds, stocks, etc. You need to understand and learn the lingo so that when you do get to the point of, okay, I'm ready to start investing, you understand the terminology, you understand how this account is going to grow over time, what are the tax implications, and all the nuances associated with having this type of account, right? And that sounds daunting at first, but I recommend starting small. So for example, I would start with the 401k, understanding what it is, what your job, how your job actually employees. There's usually a match with your company has a 401k match. What that means for you, what's that, when's the money come out? Is it pre-tax? Is it post-tax? All of these details you need to understand for just maybe one type of account, your 401k. And then you continue to build upon that foundation. Okay, we want to open my own brokerage with some of these online brokerages. There's Webull and Charles Schwab, Robinhood, all these different ones. Maybe you want to step your toes into that. And then, but if you understand the basis of a 401k, it can help you understand, okay, how does this brokerage account work? How is it different, right? And that's really the next step, is doing that research. Now the last step would be setting aside how much you want to actually contribute and how you want to invest and how much risk you want to take on. Now that's a biggie, is the risk component. There are very risky assets, right? So you can think back to, let's see here, what was a big one this year? Tesla. That was a big one this year. Tesla was a highly speculative, as in speculation for the price. Some people were really down on it, as in they were thinking it was way overvalued. Some people were like, oh, it's going to shoot through the moon. And so essentially there was lots of people just getting in it because of a FOMO, fear of missing out. There was lots of speculation on how high it would go or how low it would go. And so it really rolled up into them just gambling with their money. Now, someone that is serious about investing might not jump into those type of speculative plays, but they might want to take something of lower risk. Now, low risk can go something as low as a high yield savings account, right? Where the return on your money is set to a fixed amount. Now, the bank can choose to change it, but they're never going to actually take away money from your account. And that money is usually FDIC insured up to $250,000 or so, right? That would be an example of a very low risk investment, but an investment nonetheless. Now, what you'll see is the higher the risk, the better the return. By return, I mean how much money you get back for the money that you have invested in this vehicle. So for example, if I have $1 invested into a stock of Tesla and I make $1, well, that's great. But that dollar that I gain for that dollar that I put in could have a higher risk as opposed to my high yield savings account where I put in $1 and I make 25 cents. Right? Hopefully that makes sense. And that's really it. That's where you get started. That should hopefully lay the foundation to get some of the young people out there, even some of the older people out there that are really interested and know you need to start investing and learning about it. Hopefully this gets you on the right track. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Give me any comment and feedback, and I'll be sure to talk to you next time. See you.